Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I love saying this to anybody. I'm sending you positive vibes. Somebody's going through a situation, maybe it's a medical treatment, test, whatever. I'm sending positive vibes your way. Positive vibration is kind of everything that runs us, whether you realize it or not. I realized it. I got it now. And that's what we're trying to show everybody here. And she's going to help us out with that. We started talking last week about raising your vibration, and we're going to continue that and so much more. And she's somebody that helps with hypnotherapy, helps you kind of reset your life and move it forward. You can find her at harmonywithhypnotherapy.com. Linda Matthies is back with us. Hi, Linda. How you doing?
I'm great, Steve. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. And yeah, the vibration thing, once you figure it out, it's almost as if it's like you walk into a room and you hand somebody your business card. Hi, my name is, and this is what I do. And it's already gotten there before you got there. You already put out your vibration when you meet somebody for the first time. And as I've been seeing more and more, even virtually, when you don't meet people for the first time, you're just connecting in some way because energy has no time or space. It's still a message you're sending out energetically to somebody. Do you find that's what I'm seeing? Do you see that as well? Do you feel that as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're all vibrating every second of every day, even in sleep. So it's kind of fascinating. And I discovered this years ago as I was going through, we had spoken a little bit about that last week. And so I made it my business to really investigate and research and create some type of a tangible list to work off of that would raise the vibration. And many of the things on the list work in, 15, 20 minutes or less.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a great thing to incorporate into your life every single day and put yourself in that great frame of mind and high energy and just feeling wonderful.
So we didn't get to it last time. You have a list of ways to raise your vibration in a positive way. So why don't we go there?
Absolutely. So I've actually separated the list into three different categories, mind, body, and spirit. And some of the things on the list could arguably be in a different category, but I chose to put them in the categories that I put them in. And I strongly suggest you take two things, whatever two things you prefer from each category, and try and incorporate them every day. And I've noticed in my own personal practices that this has been huge for a lot of people.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely going to go there with you, and we'll see how much we can cover in the time that we have. But it'll be fun,
Sure.
and I think it'll be educational for everybody too. So I'm excited.
Class in session. Here we go. Working on your positive vibration. All right. Where do we start with that?
Well, let's start with mind a little bit because I think that's a definite category for people. And we had spoken last week. I'm just going to give a good example. We had spoken last week a little bit about journaling and about writing, and it is a fabulous way to connect with your subconscious mind and a wonderful way of raising your vibration. And I've actually created a morning ritual, and our bodies, minds crave routine. They love routine. And so any kind of a ritual, whether it's a morning ritual, an evening ritual, even a lunch break, something you do at your lunch break is wonderful for raising your vibration. And so in my particular morning ritual, one of the things I do is journaling. And I do this every morning up at 5 a.m. and I do this 5 a.m. And I'll do that for probably 15 to 20 minutes. I'll do my journaling. And once I've completed that, I do a little bit of reading. And I pick something that really feeds me, something that I'm excited about, intrigued, anything I can be passionate about. I'll take that and do a little bit of reading. And once I've completed that, now I feel like I've done my mind, And so incorporated into my morning ritual, I do something physical. So I'll go to the gym and then work out for an hour to get my body incorporated into it. And I find that that is so helpful, and it really gets me to integrate the information that I've just been working on in the journaling and reading. So it works beautifully
Huh.
together. And I do strongly suggest any kind of morning ritual for people.
I love that idea. I'm on your page completely. I need to get more habitual with journaling, but I'm intrigued about the learning thing. Every day you find something else to read, you find something.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I will find something, whether it's a video. Now we're so fortunate because we have the internet. We have access. I mean, when I was a kid, and probably when you were a kid too, you had a bunch of encyclopedias in your mom's little study or something, and man, you had to use those. You're doing your homework, you gotta go get that
Yeah,
encyclopedia, or go to the library.
they used to have, well, the library, but they used to have specials on the encyclopedia at the grocery store supermarket. Like, here's the next edition that's coming out. You can buy the next book, literally, and you would add to it. What are we up to? We're up to the letter Q now. Yeah, I totally remember that. And that's where you got all your information back then. But so if for you, how do you decide what you're gonna expose yourself to in terms of grasping something, learning something that you're interested in? Do you think about it the day before, the night before, or do you just get up, you troll the internet? Oh, there's an interesting article that's going to count for my read today, and then you go into it.
There's a couple of different ways that you can do this. Now, interestingly, I put the learning aspect, and I also like to call it pursuing anything that fulfills a passion. So I put that under the spiritual column
Okay.
because I find that when you engage your passions in life, it really invokes something spiritual within you. And so you're going through all three levels here, going
Yes.
through all three categories. And so what I do is now, I've, we've spoken about all the certifications that I've gotten involved in because I have such a hunger for learning and for keep kind of raising the bar a little bit, raising the bar a little bit on what my experience in life could be. So I put that on my list of passions. I'm gonna just keep on going with that and really, really jumping right in because it makes me feel so energized in so many ways. And so when I'm doing that, if I am doing, let's say, a certification, now that's on my list, and I'm probably not going to complete it in one day. So that's going to be several days, could be a week, could be like when I did my hypnotherapy certification, that was over a year of study. And I did it piece by piece each morning, broke it down into my morning ritual and did a little piece of it each day. So that's how I kind of figure it out. But there are so many ways you could find a book that you're intrigued. Somebody, maybe you're part of a book club, and somebody said, "Oh, we got to read this great book," and it's maybe self-help, or it's maybe just a focus. Maybe you love bird watching. Oh, I'm going to read this book on bird watching. It's that's the way to do it. It's all about the feelings, the internalized feelings that you have. If what you're doing is fulfilling a passion or if it's drudgery. You know the
And it's the
difference.
intention. You're setting the intention because many times I come home from
Mhm.
work, could be later, like 7, whatever, grab something to eat, and I just plop in front of the computer and I'm just, scrolling and just endlessly, aimlessly. There's no goal. I'm just like, whatever. And I pretty much shut my brain off. But if I were to actually have a goal, whatever, I want to learn a little bit more about this every night, even if it's only for 10
Mhm.
minutes, it could, again, just
Absolutely.
one article, one blog, just go through it. But you got to have the habit. Now, Linda, you said you had different categories, and one of them was spiritual. What are the
Hmm.
other two? Or am I jumping ahead here? And I should
No,
wait.
you're doing you're perfect. You're perfect because they're all tying together in what we're talking about. We're talking about mind, body, and spirit.
Okay.
So different ways to raise your vibrations within those different categories. And I did put journaling and create a morning ritual in mind because it's something you've thought about. It's something you have an intention towards, right? But that doesn't mean everything in your morning ritual has to be only about mind.
Well, you just said you
And
went to the gym, so there's the body. So we got that, right?
yep, there's the body and the pursuing passion, learning, hobby, work, something you're fascinated about. And you can jot a list of stuff if you're not sure what you might be intrigued about per day. You could have a little list and say, well, here's my list of things that I'm excited to learn about. I'm intrigued to learn about. I want to raise the bar and grow myself in this way.
Mm,
And if you have that list near your computer, now you know what to scroll about or what to look for,
right.
whether it's a blog, whether it's an article, whether it's a new book you're going to purchase on Amazon, whatever it might be, you know?
It's the intention. That's what I'm getting from this. You have to set it
Absolutely.
and almost like forget it. Once you're in the habit of doing it, every morning you do it, you wake up. I got this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Um, the spiritual part, I would imagine if we looked at your morning ritual, journaling about the positive things or the things you're grateful about, which we should be doing, right? Gratitude, huge. That
Hmm.
that covers the spiritual end of it. Would that be fair to say?
That would be fair to say. Also, for me, I do a little bit of meditating every single day. So meditation can be as long or as short as you need it to be, and that will cover your spiritual. But my journaling, because I'm writing in cursive, which is something that has sadly almost become extinct. And I really encourage people to examine that and to practice it if they can and to implement that into their journaling because that is a direct link to your subconscious mind. It has been proven
Seriously?
scientifically. Absolutely. It has been proven scientifically. It is a direct link to your subconscious mind.
It sounds like work.
It's not though, because once you do it, and like I said,
I guess
you could be doing it for 10 minutes,
I've never
10
been
minutes,
one
5 minutes.
to write in script cursive. Um, that's just me, but I almost became a syndicated cartoonist when I was in my low 20s. So I read like a cartoonist. So it's, block letters, very clean. Um, but I see what you're saying because it's more work and it's more mind work, and that mind-hand connection is so powerful when you physically write stuff out. So it's almost like you're taking the next step, the next stage in
It's
that.
all about the neural pathways in the brain. That's
Yeah.
really how it works. However, you just said cartoonist, which made me think of something real interesting. Um, I took an entire certification on handwriting analysis,
Oh boy.
which was very fascinating. And in that certification, we also learned how to analyze doodles. There is a ton of information from your subconscious mind that comes out in doodles. So if you don't want to write in cursive because you don't really appreciate it for whatever reason, that's okay. You can
I just
actually do some doodles.
just out of practice. That's it. Hmm.
And you'll find out a lot about your subconscious mind just in free form doodling. Just let anything come out on the paper. Doesn't even matter what it is, just let it all come out on the paper. And you will connect with things that are going on in your subconscious. It's amazing.
I'm intrigued. I am, Linda. And when you doodle based on what you found and you learn, should you it's hard to block out, I can't doodle. I can draw, of course. But if I'm gonna write, I overthink it. All right, what should I write? What should I draw? What should I make? Oh, all right. I love palm trees. I want to make a palm tree. I'm thinking about it where what you just said, it needs to be you just need to let it flow out. Just let it flow out. How do you disconnect the purpose and just let it go? Or do you just close your eyes and doodle and try it that way?
You can do it a number of different ways. When I'm working with a client who's doing a doodle, I'll give them one or two directions with their sheet of paper. They have a sheet of paper. They have pencils, pen, colored pencils. They get to mix and match, pick up whatever they want to use, and all of those elements actually have a significance
Mhm.
in the analysis. So it doesn't matter what they pick up, something will come from that.
Wow.
Um, but you're just talking about letting your mind go. So whether you're, like I said before, writing in block letters, or whether you're doodling, or whether you're writing in cursive, you can give yourself one direction for that day. Like perhaps your direction is going to be a house. Well, a house can look like anything.
Hmm.
So now it's just a matter of leaving yourself the materials to work with and just seeing where it goes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever comes out on that sheet of paper is going to be an indication. You yourself would understand this. And just to break it down to very simplistic terms, if somebody drew a house with a dark rain cloud above it, and someone else drew a house with a sunshine and a smiley face in the sunshine above it, those two people are coming from two totally different energetic places.
Absolutely. I the things I learned from you and about you. I mean, I didn't know that you had some expertise there in handwriting analysis. And would never even think that's connected to doodling. Powerful stuff. And now I'll think about it, when it comes to doodling, I I don't do it as much as I should. And I used to do it all the time, but I would always do it where it was going to be not a work of art, but something that would be seen, where you have to do it. And it's like, Nobody's going to see this. It's just your own thing. It's whatever's in here going down to here and on the piece of paper and just letting it flow out. Interesting, though. Wow. Okay.
The nice thing too about doodling is it really engages your playfulness. And that's a wonderful thing because anytime we engage playfulness, think of a child, you're raising your vibration just based on that alone.
Yeah. Yeah. In a positive way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in psychics. There are people that have intuitive ability. I am the biggest skeptic. I've worked with them. I've seen them. There are some that aren't legit, but the ones that are, half of the ones I know doodle when they do readings. They just sit there and it's just like squirrels and things, and as they're doing a reading, and that's how stuff comes out of it. They know what they're writing, they know what they're seeing. But I even see the visual of one in particular, just sitting there, just doodling, and then this information comes out that is like spot on. So how?
Fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but there's something there with the doodling, where there's an output, the flow is coming out. How about some other things on your list to raise your vibration?
Oh, I love it. Well, for mind, I chose also stargazing,
Hmm.
which can transcend into other categories, can transcend into spiritual as well. When we go out into an arena, in any kind of arena in nature, you're really connecting. You're really connecting to something much greater than yourself. And it doesn't matter who you are, stargazing is a beautiful experience for anyone.
Hmm.
Just like kind of watching a sunset, that could be on that list too, theoretically. And you can just imagine, you can put yourself into a place of imagining how tiny we are in comparison to the universe and universal energy. But yet, you're getting a ton of energy out of it. Maybe you're looking for constellations, maybe you're putting together pictures in your mind, and it's just an amazing experience. And that is very wonderful.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Well,
So being,
if you don't if you don't spend time in nature, no excuses, everybody. You can't. We're not going to go with it's too cold out, blah blah blah. You're doing yourself a disservice.
you are, you are 100%.
It's a big
And it could
thing.
be any nature. It can be any nature.
Yeah.
I just chose stargazing. It could be the beach. It could be the mountains. It could be a lake, a stream. Many artists oftentimes would paint in a place of nature, even if they're not painting nature itself, just because the inspiration and the feeling is so strong when you're connecting with nature.
Hmm. And the grounding aspect of it is so important.
Yeah.
And it
Hmm.
doesn't, you go walk your dog, take a walk around the block, whatever it is, but just be there, be in it. And that's what I truly believe that's one of the ways to raise up your vibration in a positive way.
Yeah, it's an incredible feeling. It really is an incredible feeling.
I know we're both from the same area, but I had a thought last night. I was driving um, over a bridge that went over our expressway, and I couldn't see the cars, but it brought back a memory of being. I love the Caribbean, I love tropical, and I actually was putting myself there, driving over that because I remember being driving over a bridge in one on one island. I went, don't laugh, but I went by a landfill, and it was just, very rural looking, and that's what it reminded me of. And I was mentally putting myself at an island somewhere because that's what I remember, like not highly developed and just that kind of basic. And I thought to myself, you know what? This is last night. I'm like, I'm going to go down by the beach. I'm going to take a drive around. I don't care if it's February. It's still going to feel okay because you're in nature and you're by water.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Moon gazing, sun gazing, all these things are incredible. You get just a sense of being connected, really connected to something greater than yourself.
Yeah.
And that's an amazing feeling. And that's why I say it can cross over into spiritual, because that feeling of connection is very spiritual in nature.
I'll
So,
share something with you. My friends are making fun of me. I have a Jeep
okay.
that's 21 years old. It's rusting away. It's just, it's got like little value in it. I bought it used like 6 years ago. I go kayaking in the summer and I put the kayaks on top. Busy last year, didn't get to use it a lot. It's, starting to rust, some mechanical problems, and I put some money into it. I even had my friend's nephew cut a piece of the roof out and put and weld metal in there and seal it because it's
Wow.
rusting that bad. Uh, the main belt went on it, alternator. Yeah, it was some expense. And my friends are saying, "Why are you putting the money into it?" I said, "Well, number one, you can't find a good used SUV around now. It's hard to buy used cars, especially SUVs. And I enjoy it because it's my pleasure and passion to, lug my kayaks. And it's not a ton of money, but I feel there's I'm being drawn to do it because I want to spend more time this summer getting out in nature and not have to worry about putting kayaks on my car. I'll just throw it on this, this junky Jeep. I don't even lock it. And again, I hadn't put a lot of money into it previously. Brakes, that's about it. But it's I feel that I'm got a calling. I got to get back to nature. And that's, when people say that, yes, I'm getting back to nature. Now I get it. There's a reason, right?
That is precisely what I'm talking about. Now you've put together nature with something that you're passionate about, which is kayaking. Okay, that's a win-win right there.
And I just realized something based on you, the body connection, exercise. So you kayaking,
Yep.
there's, there you go. Meditation, I just go out and I float, put my feet up and, look at nature and the reeds and the weeds and whatever. So, I mean, it's all there and, for whatever expensive, I feel it's worth it. Even I keep the Jeep another couple of years and it just falls apart. It's worth it in that way. Uh,
Oh, that is so worth it. That's a great. I think whatever you've invested has paid a hundredfold.
Yeah, and there's some sentimental things that come out of that Jeep too. So yeah, whatever. I just tell my friends, just shut up. Shut up. But you know what? I'll even send them, a picture. Guess what just went on it today, just to feed into them because I think it's funny. Um, we got a minute or two left. What's left on the list? Did we hit everything?
No, not even close. But let me give you one quick one that is something anybody can implement very quickly into their life and get a lot out of it. And that's something called it's under the body, and it's something called posture change or a power pose. I don't know if you've heard of that before. I love to use superhero pose as the example. And if anyone doesn't know what that is, think of Superman, how he stands, how he's always depicted, the arms out, and
Yep.
he's upright, and he just looks magnificent,
Yep.
right? Well, if you do that pose for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, it increases testosterone 20%, decreases your stress hormone, which is cortisol, by 25%. It increases your bravery or willingness to take a risk by 33%. You will be more confident and much more likely to perform well in any task you're doing directly after doing that superhero pose.
Back to the beginning, 2 minutes, you said?
2 minutes.
And you can be anywhere doing that pose.
Absolutely.
Wow. I've gone to the gym before and I have a friend who's a trainer, and I don't have great posture, but she always says, soldier proud, soldier proud. And it's basically put your chest up, stand up straight. But I found myself at the gym catching myself in the mirror, and I'll straighten up, and I feel so much better about myself even at the gym, even for, I'm talking 10 seconds as you walk by the
Yeah.
mirror. I can't.
That's a posture change. Absolutely.
Wow.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful example. Thank you for telling me that. That's beautiful.
I got to try and keep it going for 2 minutes now. But I will say, probably last for maybe 40 seconds, because I'll be mindful of it. Then you'll go and you'll start working out, and then sometimes you forget it, but you try to remember your workouts will be even better if you go into that pose.
Yeah, how energized you are just from that tiny amount of time that you spent with intention.
And this person that told me the soldier proud, she has no lack of confidence whatsoever. She is like, a go-getter, really pushes forward, and you'll never catch her slouching ever. That's just the way she is. I can't believe we're out of time. How did that happen?
Either.
It's funny. We had other things we were going to talk about because we thought that we'd probably run out. We'd hit all the items on the positive vibration list of things to do. But want to tell everybody your website, which is harmonywithhypnotherapy.com.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So anybody looking for hypnotherapy, wanting to learn more about this energy stuff and really move their life forward, you have a free consult, right?
I do. And I'm here to help. So bring it on.
Learned so much today. Can't even tell you. Like, seriously, from the handwriting thing to, you have a great way of just giving the tidbits that are easy to digest. You get right to the point, bam, 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 on to the next thing. And that's great because a lot of us don't have time or the mental capacity to put it all together. So I appreciate you, Linda. Thank you. And I look forward next time we get a chance to get together.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.